Welcome. My name is Lashina Williams, and I am the president-elect of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association. This year, I have the honor and pleasure to welcome you to our 37th annual J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association Scholarship Banquet. This year, we will be coming to you virtually as we did last year, but this year we will also be having a small and intimate watch party. I want to say thank you to the members of our community who are currently at our watch party. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for staying a part of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association family. This year, our theme is Hope Rises and So Shall We. Instead of focusing on the problems that the dual pandemic has caused us, we want to highlight the members and organizations of our community that have not only been able to survive, but thrive. And when I say the dual pandemic, I not only mean the COVID-19 pandemic, but I also mean the civil war that's currently embroiling the United States and our local communities today. So in spite of that, our focus is to focus on people and organizations that were not only able to survive, but thrive and pivot in light of these problems and become the source of solutions when it comes to health and wellness, when it comes to social as well as racial justice, and when it comes to mentorship. So we hope to highlight their excellence, and we hope to focus on moving forward beyond our problems today. One of my favorite traditions of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association is the performance of the Negro National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. Every year at the scholarship banquets, many lawyers, politicians, and judiciary members join hands as they sing and listen to this wonderful song. So this year, I am honored to introduce Committed as they perform their rendition of Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Lift every voice and sing, earth, heaven, ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies resound the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. March on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, through the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn has died, yet with a steady beat and not our weary feet come to the place from which our fathers died. We have to the light forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk of the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand. True to our God, true to our God, true to our native land, true to our native land.
Let us pray. Eternal God, we come humbly and boldly to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in a time of need. God, we invoke your presence this evening as members, friends, supporters, and guests gather at the J. Franklyn Bourne's 37th Annual Scholarship Banquet to recognize scholarship recipients and honor those who have shared their gifts and blessings and who have achieved and excelled in their careers and service. We congratulate the honorees and give thanks today for life, for strength, for health, for peace, and for unity. We pray for this historic association and for its founding, for its history, its growth across the years, and for its work and focus on justice, education, fairness, community service, and uplifting the plight and spirit of the disadvantaged and underserved. We thank you for the present officers and for the leadership and members of this association, and pray for their continued energy, talent, contributions, commitment, and dedication to the mission and vision of this association. Finally, O God, keep us in the hollow of your hand. Hear us, O God. Anoint this prayer. We exalt you today. We feel you and praise you today, and we thank you. Let your glory be revealed according to your will and in your time. In the name of the divine we pray. Amen.
Good evening, and welcome to J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association's 37th Annual Scholarship Awards Banquet. Hope rises, and so shall we. Here we are again, another year, another virtual banquet. Though the COVID-19 pandemic has continued to leave our country in a state of uncertainty, one thing that was, is, and will always be certain, that since 1977, J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association will continue to be committed to legal excellence, community service, and the advancement of African American minorities in the legal profession. The pandemic couldn't hold back our prestigious bar association. We still had a productive, event-packed bar year. We successfully used our creativity to bring our membership and community programming that address the current circumstances while keeping an eye towards progress, improvement, growth, and Sankofa, which is, you must know your past to move forward in your future. Our executive board and 13 committees stayed committed and worked tirelessly in bringing our 2021 Bar Years initiatives into fruition. Those initiatives are financial planning, health and wellness, membership and mentorship, and social justice. In the U.S., there is a significant gap in the retirement planning of minorities. To address this, we partnered with Merrill Lynch and held a program on the importance of wealth management to assist in bridging the gap. During the COVID-19 pandemic, this initiative was more important than ever. The pandemic not only had an adverse impact physically, but also mentally on many. In June of 2020, the Center for Disease Control conducted a study and found that 40.9% participants reported an adverse mental or behavioral health condition since the start of the pandemic. Without the pandemic as a factor, more than 45% of attorneys experienced depression during their legal career. To address this, we held numerous health and wellness programs, including our virtual mini wellness retreat, National Women's Health Week virtual soca class, Walk for Justice, which was a 2.23-mile walk in honor of the date of the death of Ahmaud Arbery, a virtual paint and sip where we painted rainbow magic. I don't think we did too shabby either. And to address the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine, we held a virtual program called the COVID-19 Vaccine: Myths, Facts, and the Impact on the Minority Community with the Black Coalition Against COVID. We had a guest panelist, Dr. Carl Thompson, an associate professor and graduate program director in the Department of Microbiology at Howard University's College of Medicine. I would not be a member of J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association without mentorship. I am not from the area, and the only thing that kept me grounded was mentorship, because I was definitely feeling like a small fish in a big pond. This year, our mentorship chair, Raina Nquanyo, with the help of Corey Lyles, established and launched J. Franklyn Bourne's formal mentorship program, connecting 15 new practitioners with attorneys practicing for 5 or more years. We also had programming of professional development with Lydia Lawless, our new admittees reception, where approximately 50 people were in attendance, our friends and family cookout, and as a thank you to our members for their dedication. Our Women Leading in the Law event, which was one of my absolute favorites, where attendees gained insight into the challenges and triumphs for women of color in the legal profession, as well as highlighting outstanding trailblazers coming behind them, including our 2021 Women's Committee Book Award Scholarship recipients, County Executive Angela Alsobrooks, and Senator Jill Cummings serving as panelists. And also, the Women's Committee had their fall social, held at Robin Hill Farms and Vineyard, where 15 women fellowshipped, connected after our long summer break. We started the bar year with the feeling as though we were in 2 different points in time. The election of Senator Raphael Warnock, the first African American to represent Georgia in the Senate, and the first African American Democrat elected to a Senate seat by a former state of the Confederacy since Reconstruction. And then the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. But hope rises, and so shall we. The conviction of the former Minnesota police officer in the murder of George Floyd may have seemed small to some, but we can remember a time when even the video footage was not enough. Convictions of police officers was still unlikely. And even before that, African Americans did not even have the right to bring a case in court, let alone against a police officer. We are moving in the right direction, and that is forward. Because hope rises, and so shall we. Senator Warnock stated the other day, because this is America, the 82-year-old hands that used to pick somebody else's cotton went to the polls and picked her youngest son to be a United States Senator. My father, a Vietnam War veteran who earned the Purple Heart and went on to obtain his bachelor's and law degree from the HBCU Southern University. From there, he became a civil rights attorney who in the early 1980s in Louisiana fought for the integration of public schools and stated, "Our dignity, identity, freedom, rights, liberty, and heritage are not negotiable," and they still are not. And now, here I sit as the president of this illustrious bar association and an attorney for a school system with goals focused on equity, and walking halls of buildings our ancestors likely weren't allowed to be in unless they were the help. Now we have people who look like us as colleagues and friends, like past president and now United States Attorney for the District of Maryland, Eric Barron, the first African American to serve in this role. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams. Let's not forget how far we have come, and we shall continue to overcome, because hope rises, and so shall we. Therefore, we took this time to continue bringing awareness to injustices across the country through Belly of the Beast movie screening, a documentary that follows a group of activists fighting for the dignity of and the reproductive justice for incarcerated women in California prisons, and continuing to say the names of those murdered at the hands of ignorance, like the Ahmaud Arbery Walk for Justice. And coming together through the Strength and Solidarity panel, co-sponsored with the Alliance of Black Women Attorneys, Asian Pacific Bar Association of Maryland, and Monumental Bar Association, which featured panelists who discussed race relations between Asian and Black communities, past and present, and the need for solidarity in the future. We raised and donated thousands of dollars to numerous organizations through the bar year, including Valuable Blessings, Inc., to assist families who are survivors of domestic violence during the holiday season, the 223 Foundation, a diaper drive which helped 71 families, Blankets for Breast Cancer, Lawyers for Lupus, Christmas in April, where we helped a resident of Temple Hills with paint and outside yard work, and our Valentine's Day giveaway, where supplies were collected and donated to 14 homeless women. In addition, throughout the year, we hold voter registration drives and 4 expungement clinics, because one is coming up the following weekend. The reason we are here, we kept with our traditional scholarships, where Zion Thomas earned first place at our oratorical contest. And with the scholarships awarded through this banquet, we have given away over $180,000 in educational financial assistance to countless students throughout the country in the banquet's 37 years. I could not do this hard work without the help of my executive board, so I want to thank them and my committee chairs. Immediate past president, Vanita Taylor. President-elect and the chair of the scholarship banquet, Lashina Williams. Our treasurer, Matt Emick, especially because he served 2 terms. Corresponding secretary, Raylan Best James. Recording secretary, Crystal Gaines. Executive officers, Honorable Sharon Grayson Kelsey and Kim Lewis. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as your president for such a prestigious and dedicated organization. I am so honored to be a part of the Bourne legacy and look forward to seeing the years of continued success. Now on with the banquet.
Good evening. I am honored to join all of you once again for the annual J. Franklyn Bourne dinner. I'm also pleased to congratulate President Rennell on the outstanding leadership she has given to the association over the last year, and to congratulate and pledge my support for President-elect Williams, who I know will be an outstanding leader in the year ahead. And I also want to welcome our good friend, Kurt Schmoke, the former state's attorney of Baltimore City and the president of the University of Baltimore. He is a dear friend and a great leader. J. Franklyn Bourne was a trailblazer and a role model. Born at a time when the words of our Declaration of Independence, that all men are created equal, certainly rang hollow for so many African Americans. He was undaunted in his determination not only to achieve his own dreams of pursuing a legal profession, but also to make others' dreams of equality and opportunity possible. For more than 40 years, the scholarships named in his memory have not only benefited law students, but have helped us continue to make the legal profession more reflective of the wonderful diversity of our state and of our nation. A famous and wonderful Marylander, Justice Thurgood Marshall, said, and I quote, "None of us got where we are solely by pulling ourselves up our bootstraps. We got here because somebody bent down and helped us pick up our boots." That's what Judge Bourne did for so many others. It's what you're doing in his memory today. I've been proud to join you at this dinner year after year because I believe strongly that our state and country are shortchanged when the full measure of its talented sons and daughters is untapped because of injustice and inequity. The United Negro College Fund says, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste," and your efforts are making sure that we do not waste minds. You're engaged in that work as stewards of Judge Bourne's lasting legacy. I continue to be inspired by Judge Bourne's example as well. I've been proud to bring to the House floor legislation that would protect civil rights and our Constitution by restoring the full protections of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. I also brought to the floor H.R. 1, the largest expansion of voting rights in a generation. And the Senate is working on a voting rights bill as well. We need to get that done. Our advocacy is important. Along with the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, which we passed earlier this year in the House of Representatives, our majority is focused on securing equal justice under law and the equal right to vote. As we reflect on Judge Bourne's contributions to the legal profession, to justice, to civil rights, and to equality, let us be inspired by his life and by his service. In closing, I want to thank all of you for the work that you continue to do to lift up young talent and brighten the future of law in Maryland and our country. Keep up the great work.
Good evening, everyone. This is State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy. I'm so honored to be with you this evening. I want to congratulate the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association on 37 years of not only honoring the life and legacy of the Honorable J. Franklyn Bourne, but also encouraging, inspiring, and financially supporting future lawyers. Your theme this year, Hope Rises and So Shall We, is so critical for such a time as this. And you could not have picked a better speaker than the Honorable Kurt Schmoke, who used to be the Dean of the Howard University School of Law, where I obtained my Juris Doctorate. I am so happy that we're able to celebrate again this year. Hopefully next year will be in person. But until then, just remember how important Black lawyers are to our community, to our nation, and to our world, and recognize the important role that you play in developing the future leaders of not only Prince George's County and Montgomery County, but future leaders throughout the state, throughout the country, and throughout the world. So enjoy this evening, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.
Tonight is a celebration. Not only are we here celebrating the hardworking law students who were able to receive these scholarships, but we also would like to celebrate the many organizations and people who helped nourish and protect our community during the COVID-19 pandemic. It's our position that when we were setting up the virtual banquet, we wanted to make sure that we highlighted organizations that not only took care of our community, but that went above and beyond to prepare and protect our community's needs. So tonight we honor several organizations in mentorship, social justice, racial justice, and wellness. And please join me in thanking those organizations tonight.
This year, we're giving a Health and Wellness Award to an individual or an organization that's made a conscious effort to ensure that the Black and Brown members of our community receive important information about COVID-19. This coalition was created to organize local leaders and advocates. The main objective of the coalition is to mobilize and coordinate community assets and to provide collaborative support for governments in rolling out COVID-19 resources. I am honored to recognize the Black Coalition Against COVID-19.
Hello, my name is Ambrose Lane Jr., and I am the founder and chair of the Health Alliance Network, DC's largest community-based health advocacy organization. And it is through that organization that I began work with stakeholders in creating and co-founder of the Black Coalition Against COVID. The Black Coalition Against COVID was founded in April of 2020, right after the pandemic began. And our purpose was to save Black lives. So we engaged the Washington, D.C. community, and then later on, we expanded to a national audience through a partnership with the 4 Black medical college HBCUs, Howard University, Morehouse, Meharry, and Drew. It is through these partnerships and relationships that we also brought education and brought programs to the Black community to try to deal with the issues of trust and hesitancy. So for example, in Washington, D.C., we had a mask wearing contest at the beginning of the COVID. We also did an honor to those that have fallen, to the family members that have fallen as a result of COVID. In addition to those things, we have worked with other stakeholders. For example, we've worked with labor, we've worked with education, and we have worked along the lines of other stakeholders that would allow us to provide education around testing and then subsequently around vaccinations. We have held webinars that have become national webinars and have interviewed people like Dr. Anthony Fauci, Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett, and others who are stakeholders in trying to get the vaccine out. Our role was to educate and try to persuade African American people to get the vaccine to save lives. Our motto, in fact, is to save Black lives. On behalf of the Health Alliance Network and the Black Coalition Against COVID, we humbly thank the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association for this award in excellence, and we gladly accept the gift.
This year, I'm honored to award Judge Jill Reed Cummins with the Social Justice Award. Judge Cummins spearheaded the Montgomery County Bar Association's Racial Justice Council. In this role, she facilitated racially focused discussions relating to implicit bias and other racially sensitive issues. I am honored and humbled to present Judge Jill Reed Cummins with the Social Justice Award.
Thank you to the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association for this incredible honor. I am humbled and honored to receive the Racial Justice Award for my work with the Racial Justice Council in Montgomery County. I was asked to co-chair this committee by the president of the Bar Association at that time, Tom Dagonia, and with my co-chair, we were able to establish a 20 for 20 pledge in which we work to educate the community on issues regarding racism. The impact has been other local bar associations have adopted our program, and it has been rolled out across the state in other counties and other bar associations, which is tremendous. To be recognized for our work in simply educating our community on the issues of racism. We have hopefully moved the needle forward, realizing that we have a long way to go, but we have taken the first steps to get this job done. And it is a labor of love, and I appreciate J. Franklyn Bourne for your support and this incredible award. Thank you.
This next award is meant to highlight the efforts of an agency or person that was able to not only maintain their normal level of social services during the COVID-19 pandemic, but was able to meet their community's needs where they were. They were able to provide services that were safe, services that were readily available and unique, and they positioned themselves so that their community could meet all of their needs in the way they needed most. This agency that we're highlighting, the Prince George's County Family Law Justice Center, they provide coordinated services to victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, and elder abuse. And over the past year, they did that and met their requirement and exceeded it. So tonight, we wish to honor the Prince George's County Family Law Justice Center and their director, Dr. Denise McCain.
I'm Dr. Denise McCain, Director of the Prince George's County Family Justice Center, an initiative of the Circuit Court for Prince George's County. The Family Justice Center was established in 2016 as a multi-agency, multidisciplinary collaborative that was designed to improve the system's response to those who were impacted by domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, and elder abuse in Prince George's County. The goal was really to simplify the process and leverage existing resources for a more efficient, holistic, and client-centered service delivery system. This work is carried out in coordination with 22 organizations that include private, nonprofit, and government agencies that are all co-located under one roof in the Family Justice Center. We refer to it as a one-stop shop resource. Services include emergency shelter, supportive social services, civil legal representation, crisis counseling, mental health treatment, criminal prosecutions and investigations, as well as forensic examinations and strangulation screening. We're also able to provide HIV testing. We have support groups, and we are also offering transportation assistance. The pandemic effectively tested our resilience. However, I'm pleased to note that our dedicated team of staff and partners, who are, by the way, the heart of the Family Justice Center, remain diligent and address the immediate and more systemic long-term needs of over 1,700 survivors of abuse that we helped during fiscal year 2021. In fact, we served the highest number of clients in our 5-year history during this pandemic. While many survivors remain trapped in their homes and perhaps even at greater risk for abuse due to mandated shelter-in-place orders and fewer outlets for social support and interaction, the Family Justice Center quickly modified our operations and shifted our service delivery process to a virtual model that allowed us to conduct remote intakes. Likewise, messaging was very important during this time. We developed an aggressive marketing campaign, which included print and broadcast media. We also had bus tail ends and actually used radio commercials. In all, we wanted the community to know that we were still here and that critical resources remained available. We will continue to transform our community by providing life-changing options to vulnerable populations impacted by violence. It is truly an honor to serve the citizens of Prince George's County daily, and we will constantly remind this community, our clients and partners, that there's still hope, and hope always rises, and so shall we. On behalf of the Prince George's County Family Justice Center, the Honorable Sheila R. Tillison Adams, its staff and partners, I would like to thank President-elect, Executive Board, and members of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association for their recognition of excellence, and we humbly accept this award.
Tonight, we wish to highlight the 100 Black men of Prince George's County who were able to pivot during the COVID-19 pandemic, pivot during a civil rights movement, and aid the young Black men of Prince George's County when they needed them the most. The 100 Black men of Prince George's County and their president, Dr. Lamont Bunyan.
My name is Dr. Lamont Bunyan. I am the president of the 100 Black Men of Prince George's County, Maryland. And on behalf of my brothers, we humbly accept this award of excellence from the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association. The 100 Black Men of Prince George's County, Maryland pivoted to serve the youth of Prince George's County during the pandemic's darkest moments. We switched our programming to a virtual platform, headlined by our Saturday Leadership Academy, which for 10 months met 2 to 3 times a month with our youth in an immersive program where we engaged and challenged them to be their very best. We have additional programs that are also virtual to serve our community. Among them, our Pathways to Success program, which helps young people find the careers that they want to get to. Our 100 Way Golf and 100 Way tennis programs, which enable them to be able to better communicate with colleagues in a relaxed environment. our hands-on banking, which teaches them the essentials of financial management, our investment challenge, which teaches them how to use their money and have it work for them, and a host of other programs. Again, on behalf of the 100 Black Men of Prince George's County, we humbly accept this award, and we thank you, J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association, for all you do to support our community. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Vanita Taylor, the immediate past president of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association, as well as the chairwoman of the Scholarship Committee. This is our 37th annual Scholarship Banquet, our second virtual banquet, but we have been moving forward and working towards getting good candidates for these scholarships. I want you to know that these scholarships are based upon legal excellence, community service, and commitment to the legal profession. These young people are amazing, as well as the committee who helped select these young people. They worked hard in order to find the best candidates for this award. We give awards for service and community, as well as service to the legal profession. We also consider need. We all are aware that law school has gotten more and more expensive. So this scholarship has increased over the years to now we award over $2,500 to deserving law school students. But we also give an award for someone who lost their second career in honor of one of our past presidents, Sally E. Williams. This is for someone who truly has taken law as a second career. Now, the students that you're going to meet are excellent. They have worked hard in order to be here. Please join us, and after you meet these young people, consider being a mentor. Consider doing more with the Bar Association to help us to continue to fulfill our dream, which is to support and encourage the future generation of lawyers. We want you to know that these students are our future. They are our shining stars who we want to help in their journey in the law profession. They are what we see as our future. And it is important that the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association invest our time, energy, and money into those young people. We hope that you hear from them and that you see and enjoy what they have to say about their journey through law school. They are excellent. And with that, I want you to listen, learn, and if you have a desire, you can join our mentorship program and mentor one of these future leaders in the law profession. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Julia Davidson and I'm currently a 2L at Howard University School of Law. I would just like to say a big thank you to everyone here tonight, as well as everyone involved in the application process for choosing me to be one of this year's 2021 scholarship recipients. I understand that this money is an investment in my legal career and is truly a privilege that I do not take for granted. With finals around the corner, it's the perfect time to get those last minute supplements. Initially, I applied for the mentor-mentee program. So now for a year later, to not only be a member of the association, to have an amazing mentor, but also to be a scholarship recipient is truly a blessing. Thank you guys once again, and I hope you guys all have a nice night.
Good evening. My name is Louis Laurie Jr., and I'm beyond grateful to be a recipient of the 2021 J. Franklyn Bourne Scholarship. Thank you for providing support to each awardee as we embark on what can be said as the hardest journey of our lives. Winning this award would not have been possible without my village, who constantly revitalized my passion for pursuing the law and giving back to the community. My grandmother loves to emphasize that if we don't do it, who will? It is our job to not only inspire the next generation of diverse lawyers, but to blaze trails that open doors for those behind us. Through receiving this scholarship, I am blessed with the opportunity to focus on opening those doors for others similar to me who chose to take the road less traveled. Although there are obstacles along the way, your generosity provides me with the confidence that I will be able to overcome. Thank you again. I am truly honored.
Hi y'all, my name is Amber Freeney. I am a 2L at Georgetown Law and I'm originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. And I just wanted to give a sincere thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a recipient of the J. Franklyn Bourne Scholarship. I truly appreciate the work y'all are doing because we need more Black attorneys, which means we need more Black law students. And I appreciate y'all for being super intentional about helping law students get through our law school career. The scholarship will be used for books and school supplements to get the best grades as possible to help me be the best law student I can be and prepare myself for the legal field. Again, thank you so much for not only helping me, but other recipients this year and in the past as well. And thank you and keep up the work that y'all are doing. Have a great day.
Good evening. I'm Maureen Epps McNeil, a former president of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association, and I'm honored to say a few words on behalf of the President's Circle and this evening's President's Circle Scholarship winners. First, I will answer a burning question of yours. What is the President's Circle? So glad you asked. The President's Circle is the brainchild of former President Bridget Greer. Bridget convinced us that we should raise money to award scholarships to those who are not simply excelling in the law, but also demonstrate awareness of the need to hone leadership skills, including the import of being a servant leader, as well as the need for community service. While the idea was to first contact past presidents, the entire membership could and were encouraged to participate. Bridget formed a committee consisting of the Honorable Herman C. Dawson, Circuit Court Judge and former Bourne President, the Honorable Magistrate Stenice Roll, who kept us all on task, the Honorable Planning Director Andre Green Checkley, former Bourne President, and myself. Maybe not as honorable, but hey, every good committee needs an odd number for voting purposes. In just a few weeks, we were able to raise nearly $2,000. Kudos to all the donors and to Ms. Green Checkley for graciously opening her home for an intimate wine tasting fundraising event, and to all attendees of the event. The winners of this evening's award completed the best short essay on their version of legal excellence, community service, and advancement of African Americans in the legal profession. You will meet them shortly. In closing, the President's Circle certainly hopes to build upon this year's success and make this an annual award. Please answer our call when we contact you for contributions. And really, those of you who know Bridget know she's tenacious, so you may as well send your donations now. Seriously, thank you all for your continued support of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar. And thank you, Bridget Greer, for this excellent opportunity to recognize our future lawyer servant leaders. Enjoy the banquet.
Hello, my name is Yasmin Mustafa and I'm currently a 1L at Howard University School of Law. I would like to say thank you all and that I am grateful to have been selected as the first recipient of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association Presidential Scholarship. It is truly an honor to have been selected as a Presidential Scholar of an illustrious association encompassing judges, lawyers, and future legal leaders. I take pride in being a J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association Presidential Scholar because of the organization's dedication to community service, ensuring the continuation of African Americans in the legal profession, and their education of the general public. The foregoing are values that I find important and strive to achieve as a future attorney. As legal professionals, it is our duty to bring about and ensure change for both the individual and the community. This scholarship will help me to further my legal education and thus help me to fulfill those obligations. By awarding me the Presidential Scholarship, you all have lessened my financial burden and allowed me to focus more on my schoolwork and less on the financial obligations associated with attending law school. I would like to say thank you again for selecting me as the first recipient of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association Presidential Scholarship.
Good evening. My name is Mary Lynn Pierre. It is my great honor to introduce the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association Montgomery County Community Service Award winner, the Reverend Tim Warner Sr. pastor of Emery Grove United Methodist Church in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Reverend Warner is a former research scientist who was called by God to the ministry of community building. Reverend Warner has a deep passion for the community and the people. Recognizing how the pandemic was disproportionately impacting both his African American church and the largely immigrant community surrounding it, Reverend Warner led his congregation to seek ways to use the church's vacant lot to stem the destructive tide of the pandemic. Collaboration is the key to success. As such, he collaborated with Mobile Med, the Montgomery County African American Health Program, and the National Center for Children and Families, where he serves as a trustee, to provide thousands of free COVID tests and hundreds of free COVID vaccines to the people in his community. Led by the excellent work of its health ministry, members of Emery Grove United Methodist Church went door to door to check on their neighbors and enroll them to get their vaccines as soon as the vaccines became widely available. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association Montgomery County Community Service Award winner, the distinguished Reverend Tim Warner Sr.
My name is Reverend Tim Warner. I'm the senior pastor of Emery Grove United Methodist Church in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and I gratefully and humbly accept the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association's Award for Excellence in Community Service on behalf of our entire church, and in fact our entire community. Our community has history that is rich and deep, having been founded by former slaves, enduring all of Jim Crow and in Montgomery County and all of what civil rights meant in Montgomery County. The community itself was raised in favor of urban renewal in the 70s, and many of the members of our church, which is really the only remaining thing in our community that is a vestige of the community. People drive in now to that community. But the community that has surrounded us is largely an immigrant community of Central American immigrants and largely West African immigrants. And during the time we were away during COVID, our church was actually robbed. Someone broke in and stole all of our equipment. And as a congregation, we were pondering what we ought to do to be a blessing and to still be in some type of ministry to the community. And the vision we arrived at was to be involved in the health of our community. In the midst of the pandemic, the same issues that impacted African Americans were impacting the entire community, and we needed to make a stand for that. And so what we did was partner with several nonprofits in the area and in the county government, the African American Health Program, the National Center for Children and Families, and Mobile Med to provide thousands of COVID tests throughout the pandemic and hundreds of vaccines when they became widely available. I'd like to thank our health ministry at our church for taking leadership in organizing our members to become useful during that time and knocking on doors and checking on our neighbors to make sure they had what they needed and to register them to come and get vaccines. The work that we've done has made an impact. It wasn't nearly enough. There's still much more work that needs to be done. But I'm grateful for the opportunity to have done this work and for the recognition that I've gotten on behalf of the church. Thank you very much.
Good evening. It is my honor and pleasure to announce one of the winners of the J. Franklyn Bourne Community Service Award, Ms. Sharon Christmas DeBerry. Sharon Christmas DeBerry is a member of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association who has held several positions, including president of this esteemed organization. She is married to Dale DeBerry. Sharon and Dale DeBerry have children of their own, but they have also fostered and unofficially fostered many children in the community, many of the young men that are on the basketball teams that her husband has coached, and many children who she has just run into during her everyday life, living in her community where she's always on the outlook for children in need. Ms. DeBerry is a lifetime resident of Prince George's County. She and her husband have created a foundation, Ishibu Bo McCoy's Foster Children Support Project. They have provided backpacks for children in foster care. They have provided book bags for children in the community. They have provided assistance with prom dresses and prom attires for children who did not have the means to do so but wanted to attend their high school proms. They have also provided duffel bags. Children in foster care oftentimes are taken in the night and they don't have time to pack their belongings, or they don't have belongings. She has provided duffel bags so that we do not have the image in Prince George's County of children taking plastic trash bags with their few belongings to a new home. Mr. Berry and her husband have done this unselfishly, without grants, through fundraising. Their fundraising activities include basketball games. They've had local charity basketball games with various organizations. They have made outreaches within the community, all which have all been successful. She has been involved and has been the unofficial liaison for the J. Franklyn Bar Association for Unification Day, as well as for National Adoption Day. For Sharon and her husband Dale, it's all about the community and service to children in Prince George's County. She's also the vice chair of the Prince George's County Government's Commission for Children, Youth, and Families, where she personally has an impact on hundreds of children's lives. Her devotion to children and to community is significant and should be recognized, and we do so today.
Good evening. My name is Sharon Christmas DeBerry. I am the founder and president of Both Fosters Hope, Inc. I'd like to thank the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association for this award. I don't take the presentation of it lightly. Both Fosters Hope, just like J. Franklyn Bourne, has a mission of community service. Our general mission is to aid children in foster care and children in low-income communities. Over the years, we have provided cases for kids, for children going in foster care, because many of them are taken from their homes and all they have is the clothes on their backs. We have provided tutoring for children in foster care. For those aging out, we have provided application services, helping them learn to do job applications, helping to do college applications. We have helped families at Christmas time with gifts. Many young mothers in foster care who have children of their own now and are unable to provide gifts for them. Each year, just before school starts, we have a school supply drive and backpack giveaway where we give backpacks to primarily children in foster care, but also children in needy communities. Over the past 2 years in the pandemic, we have given out over 800 backpacks to children in foster care and needy communities. And then this year, we were able to give out 1,000 face masks and large bottles of hand sanitizer to 2 Title I schools in Prince George's County. In May each year, we try to have a foster care awareness event because May is Foster Care Awareness Month. Just prior to the pandemic, we had a foster care awareness fair at the Prince George's County Sports and Learning Complex. We had people like Department of Social Services, Casa Prince George's, and other foster care agencies come out and tell the community about foster care and how they can get involved. Because you don't have to foster a child to get involved in foster care. There's something that we all can do to help. We're not a huge organization. We don't have a war chest of money, but I do believe in our motto, which is fostering hope one child at a time. And if I can help just one child, if I can just make a difference in the life of one child, then I think that the mission has not been in vain. Again, I'd like to thank the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association for this award, and I'd like to thank many members of Bourne who have supported me over the years, whether it was monetarily, through their donations in kind, or their service at my different events. Thank you all so much and enjoy the rest of your evening. Once again, I'd like to thank the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association for recognizing Both Fosters Hope and giving us this award. I'd also like to thank members of Bourne who have supported me over the years, whether monetarily, through your donations in kind, or your service at various events that I've held. Thank you all so much and enjoy the rest of your evening.
I have the privilege and joy this evening of presenting to an outstanding recipient the Wayne K. Curry Award, which is the J. Franklyn Bourne's highest award. A lifelong resident of Prince George's County and a product of its public schools, Wayne Curry was a dedicated public servant and was an enormous model for so many to emulate. Those of us who knew Wayne Curry possess fond memories of him, which we shall cherish for years to come. Wayne had the whole package. He was a gifted and intelligent person with incredible ability to articulate, and he developed powerful relationships throughout Maryland and beyond. He was a brilliant strategist and political mentor, and was a wonderful husband, father, and friend to many. And did he love to tout Prince George's County? Hundreds of the successful citizens of this area who knew and admired Wayne can provide testimony and give personal examples of the support, benefit, advice, and career lift Wayne Curry provided. For me personally, Wayne Curry provided mentorship and jump-started my career. Wayne launched my public career by introducing me to many of the people of influence in Prince George's County who then opened doors of opportunity for me. Wayne was also my key strategist and political advisor who facilitated my successful run and election as state's attorney for Prince George's County. Among his numerous accomplishments and community engagements, Wayne also proudly served as a former president of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association. The Wayne K. Curry Award is not an annual award, but is only periodically presented to an outstanding and accomplished recipient who demonstrated in his or her laboratory of life Wayne's leadership, his mentorship, his public service, his extraordinary vision, and his commitment to leaving a legacy and spirit of excellence. I am excited this evening to name and announce and present Elizabeth M. Hewlett as the recipient of the Wayne Curry Award. Betty, as we refer to her, has been a shining star and extraordinarily deserving of this prestigious award. Now let me preface my remarks by saying that it is virtually and literally impossible in the few minutes allotted to me to capture all of the career highlights, accolades, honors, and activities which exemplify why Betty is so deserving of this award. Yet there are a potpourri of rich examples and achievements which beseek what makes Betty so special. First, Betty is a trailblazer and a pioneer who laid the foundation and created a model for the present and future leaders to follow. Betty was the first woman president of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association. Appointed by Wayne Curry and reappointed by Rashawn Baker, Betty also was the first woman and first African American appointed as chair of the Prince George's Planning Board and the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission. That's that bi-county agency in charge of growth and development in Montgomery and Prince George's County, the two largest jurisdictions in Maryland. Second, Betty is an exceptional attorney, administrator, and manager. As a zoning and land use attorney, she was a principal in the law firm of Shipley, Horn, and Hewlett, and she served as legal counsel to the Prince George's County Planning Board. She then was named by the then county executive Wayne Curry, again to the Prince George's Planning Board and the Maryland National Capital and Planning Commission. I told Betty's mother right after her appointment that Betty occupied the most important position in the county, where she not only operated and managed an annual $400 million budget, but she influenced and she put her imprimatur on and she oversaw and led the improvement of development of so many subdivisions, commercial and business projects, town centers, shopping centers, recreation centers, parks, transportation projects, culture activities such as Black history, Hispanic history, and women's history, recognition and those events. And so much more Betty did. Betty's leadership in this space shaped and defined the substance and essence of the county. If we reflect upon and look at such things as FedEx Center, Gaylord Hotel, National Harbor, Bowie Town Center, the University of Maryland Capital Region Hospital, Woodmore Town Center, Riverdale Park Station, and we feature so many other things such as the Vista Garden Market. That's where the Grace's Hangout is, where some of y'all hang out. Kaiser Permanente at New Carrollton Metro Station, the Cameron Grove Senior Community, the Hyattsville Gatewood Arts District, and the hotel at the University of Maryland. All of these things, including the Purple Line, Betty was responsible for approving and monitoring. When we look at all of that, we owe Betty Hewlett, her team, and her management, her oversight and administrative skills and unpayable debt. In terms of awards and honors, here is just a sampling of the awards and honors bestowed upon Betty. Top 100 Women Who Mean Business Awards, the Regional 100 Most Powerful Women, the Maryland Top 100 Women, the Gladys Noon Spellman Service Award, the Influential Maryland Awards put out by the Daily Record, the Leadership in Law Awards, the National Bar Association's Presidential and Lifetime Achievement Awards. These are the kind of things that Betty has been awarded and honored with, and we're so appreciative of her ability to keep the energy going. Betty has also been honored with the Maryland Bar Association's Foundation, the Joe Curran Award to Public Service. She's been a Lifetime Fellow of the Maryland Foundation, and she was also awarded the Prince George's County Bar Association's the Honorable James H. Taylor Award. Betty has also been given the Prince George's Community Foundation Civic Leadership Award, the Prince George's Community Foundation Woman of the Year Award. She's been given the Prince George's County Sheriff's Domestic Violence, the Purple Light Award, and also she was honored with the J. Franklyn Bourne President's Award and Prince George's County Bar Association President's Award. There's so much more to say about how Betty has extended herself and has used so much of her energy and drive to serve, to get involved, to volunteer wherever she's been asked. She served as a member of and chair of the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, Metro as we know it. She also served and chaired for 10 years the committee to elect the sitting judges. She was a member of the Maryland Bar exam grader of the Maryland State Board of Law Examiners, and because of her love and passion to the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association, she has volunteered for just about every project and initiative sponsored by the association across the years, including raising funds and making sure that this annual scholarship has been a success. The last thing I want to say about Betty and how special and revered she is includes not just her leadership, but her mentorship and her advocacy for others. Betty is sought after by so many young attorneys for her advice and guidance. And when she helps and provides support for that effort, she puts her whole self into the effort and goes into it with full force, determination, and dedication. I'll cite two examples before I close. One is her advocacy for those who have sought to become judges. Betty used every statewide contact, relationship, and influence to push her candidate for a judicial appointment. There are so many judges attending this banquet who benefited and were successful because of the assistance, insistence, and advocacy of Betty on their behalf. The other example is a personal one that overjoys me every time I think about it. Years ago, Betty, Wayne Curry, and I were relaxing and enjoying and sipping various refreshments after a J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association meeting, at which time, and after I suspect I consumed perhaps too many libations, I disclosed that I wanted Bud, which was puzzling to Betty. Wayne explained to her that I wanted to challenge and run against Bud Marshall, the 24-year incumbent state's attorney for Prince George's County, Maryland. I won't tell you how many years ago that was because I do not know what age Betty is reputedly going by, so I'll just say years ago. At any rate, Betty signed on, and she committed to volunteer and help with the campaign. Help with the campaign is an understatement. Betty was the campaign and engrossed herself nonstop with full energy, total commitment, and a relentless determination which equaled in some instances and exceeded my own determination. Despite being told by partners in her firm and other political operatives that this election effort, though commendable, was a long shot and that there was no way I would be able to beat the incumbent, Betty refused to listen to the pundits and took a major role in the campaign, getting volunteers, selecting a logo and literature, raising money, spreading the word, overseeing precinct coverage, and rallying folks all over the county in support of what ended up being a successful campaign to defeat the incumbent and win that countywide election by a razor-thin margin. I particularly remember Betty calling and urging and persuading attorneys who practiced criminal law and who were scared to death to buck Bud Marshall. She encouraged them to join and put their names on the list of attorneys for Alex Williams, a list put together by Greg Wells. No one worked harder and with more dedication to assure that close countywide victory would take place. No one. Elizabeth M. Hewlett, a trailblazer, a visionary, an organizer, a leader, a mentor, an advocate, an energizer, and a public servant par excellence. Congratulations, Betty, on being selected to receive the Wayne Curry Award.
I'm probably the person who has known Betty Hewlett for the longest. Betty is the sister that I never had, and she has played an integral role in my life, and I'd like to say I in hers. Betty is a phenomenal woman, as most people know. To know Betty is to love Betty. And Betty has been such a tour de force in county politics. I mean, we were part of what we call the Basement Five that was involved in the election of Wayne Curry. I really extend my warm, heartfelt congratulations on her winning this award. I can remember when she was the president of the Bourne Association, and it just makes my heart feel good that she is being honored for what she has accomplished and so many lives that she's touched in not only Prince George's County, but the state of Maryland and the DC metro area.
One of the things that I noticed immediately about Betty was not just her intellect, but her people skills, her ability to bring you into the arena, into what she was doing and what she wants you to do. I can't think of a person off the top of my head who is existing on this planet that knows how to say no to Betty. Many of the younger members of Bourne were not around when we basically all together created something out of nothing. There was no county executive of color. There was no state's attorney of color. Both of those particular races were supposed to be impossible in terms of a goal for African Americans in this county. Betty helped to make a way in both instances. Betty was always the one that was there at the end, there at the beginning. And it was that energy, that endurance, that ability to keep sight of the goal that I remember most distinctly about Betty.
My favorite moment with Betty in the Bar Association had to have been the many nights working on the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association Banquet, and particularly nights making decisions whether to go or cancel in the middle of a snowstorm. It is appropriate that Betty Hewlett receive this award from the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association. Betty was Wayne K. Curry's personal protege. He selected her, he mentored her, and they worked together over the years. As amazing as Wayne was to this community, Betty was the one that was in the room with him when he made all the historic decisions that affected Prince George's County. Wayne selected her to be the first woman to chair the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission. And I don't think our community really understands what that is, but it is a commission that employs over 6,000 people, has its own police department, and a budget of over $335 million. So Betty Hewlett is a powerful individual, but you wouldn't know it by just walking up and talking to her, because what she would do was embrace you, give you a smile, and ask you, what can I do to help you?
Betty Hewlett and I were associates together at the law firm of Myers, Billingsley, Shipley, Curry. Curry bringing the Wayne Curry. And so she and I worked for Wayne Curry for several years. Well, I owe a lot to Betty Hewlett. I've told this story a number of times before, but I went to work at Myers, Billingsley, Shipley on a Tuesday after Labor Day, when I just graduated from law school and took the summer off, took the bar. And Betty walked into my office and asked me about going out on Thursday night. I'm thinking I'm going out on a date and I'm all happy, but it turns out she took me to a J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association meeting. And at that time, she stressed to me the importance of getting involved in the community, getting involved, working with your colleagues, and taught me right from the beginning that we're not here just to practice law, but we're here to make society better for everyone. Professionally, which all her awards will indicate that she's been just a tremendous leader through the county through the years, but she's a good personal leader as well with her own family and with her friends, and so many people are dedicated to her just in the same way she's dedicated to them.
It has been a privilege to be Betty's lawyer for just about 20 years. As chairman of the Park and Planning Commission and the Prince George's County Planning Board, Betty has been, in so many respects, my favorite client, and I hope that she can appreciate how much I know that she deserves this Wayne K. Curry Award. I think she deserves this award because most people don't get a chance to see how many tough calls she's had to make. I think people sometimes may mistake her incredible kindness for something else, but I'm just here to tell you that she's never shrunken from making tough calls and being tough when that's what's needed. Her integrity is something that is really an exemplar for new lawyers and for public servants in general. Her friendships have endured. I mean, Betty went to grade school with Al Roker, and he still takes her calls. And that, given the way that she has her strong work ethic, the way that she keeps her integrity, is another just remarkable thing. So I say congratulations, Betty.
It is my honor to be able to say a few words tonight in honor of my friend Betty Hewlett. You probably know she hails from New York. She thinks that old song Jamaica Funk was about her due to the line alley oop and Betty Boop. Since it's her moment, I won't disabuse her of that notion. Betty came to Prince George's County over 30, many years ago, and she never looked back. Most of her legal career has been tied to the county and moving it forward, but most of her time has also been spent giving back to the community. I don't know how she does it, but once she embraces you, she will be all in to help you. Even when you are minding your own business, just trying to get through your day job in the law library, like I was, she tells me, you will run for bar office, you will step up and give back. And I did it. Betty, you are simply a wonderful human being and clearly deserving of this award. And I'm so blessed and humbled to call you friend. Congratulations.
I am tremendously honored to receive the Wayne K. Curry Spirit of Excellence Award from the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association. Actually, I am blown away. because it's really impossible to convey the full gamut of emotions that I am experiencing upon receiving this particular award. My honor and my gratitude is pretty much fourfold. First, it is the Wayne K. Curry Award, named after J. Franklyn Bourne's fourth president, Prince George's County's first African-American county executive, a visionary who elevated and transformed Prince George's County, created countless opportunities for those never afforded a seat at the table, and who engineered an era of unprecedented economic growth in the county. But he was also my dear friend for 35 years, a person with whom I practiced law, ran campaigns, and who, as county executive, took a chance in appointing me to the very position I now hold. Next, it is the highest award bestowed by the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association, an organization extraordinarily near and dear to my heart. I've been a member for 40 years and know full well the tremendous contributions this bar association provides to our Prince George's and Montgomery County communities, to our legal community, to our young lawyers, and to more. I was president way back in the late 80s, and I am immensely proud of the association's growth and the many new initiatives undertaken by the membership and each successive leader. The amazing CLEs, the advocacy, the quest for legal justice, community service, Expungement Day, Constitution Day, Christmas in April, the Women's Scholarship Tea, the promotion of and quest for excellence, and the many efforts to educate the public about their legal rights. And not to mention taking the annual scholarship banquet to a whole nother level since our work on the inaugural banquet 37 years ago. Passing the baton is a wonderful thing. The third beautiful thing about this award is that it is presented by my longtime friend of 4 decades, Judge Alex Williams Jr., with whom I have most definitely been in the trenches. Not only was he the first African-American state's attorney in Prince George's County and now a retired federal judge, but he also happens to be a founder and the very first president of J. Franklyn Bourne, who paved the way for so many of us. In fact, that includes anyone who has ever benefited from the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association because it was his idea in the first place. And recognizing the need and the lack of opportunities in the 70s, he wrote the letter to other young black attorneys to meet and form a true alliance to uplift minority attorneys and our community. And fourth, I will be forever thankful to yet another founding member of J. Franklyn Bourne, the Honorable James H. Taylor, the first black judge in Prince George's County. In fact, it was Judge Taylor's suggestion to name the then law club after the deceased Judge J. Franklyn Bourne. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, Judge Taylor fortuitously met a young 23-year-old law student on spring break in D.C., urged her to apply for positions in Prince George's County. Upon the long drive down Route 202 and seeing cows on either side of the road, this young New York City woman wasn't so sure. Actually, it was more like heck no. But he convinced her. She landed a job, and 42 years later, she's still in Prince George's County, still driving down Route 202, sans cows. Judge Taylor, too, paved the way for so many of us. He became my friend, my mentor, and I learned that what appeared to be serendipity all those years ago was simply God's plan. I am blessed to stand on the shoulders of so many on the vanguard, many of whom guided my trajectory, starting with my loving, community-minded parents who infused me with the spirit of service. So again, I thank the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association for presenting me with this Wayne K. Curry Spirit of Excellence Award. It means more to me than anyone could ever imagine. I accept it in loving memory of my beloved friend Wayne, and in grateful appreciation to my angel parents and big brothers, the absolute best ever, and holding you forever in my heart. to my beloved J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association, to the many JFB colleagues who I've worked with over the years, who are now my most cherished friends and family, and who gave me some incredibly wonderful godchildren, and to the amazing men and women of the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, whose efforts, innovation, support, and dedication enabled us to accomplish so very much for our 1 million county and 2 million bi-county residents together. I am abundantly blessed, and serving my community has been the privilege of a lifetime. It is my hope that I continue to adhere to the admonition of activist attorney and brilliant legal strategist Charles Hamilton Houston. A lawyer is either a social engineer or a parasite on society. And I especially hope that my friend Wayne is smiling down on me and that I continue to live up to his namesake Spirit of Excellence Award. Thank you.
The J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association's President's Award is given every year by the President to a person that shows faithful dedication, hard work, and genuine commitment to a successful bar year. Last year, when the immediate past president, Ms. Taylor, was making her decision, I gave her a hard time. She was trying to give the award to multiple people, and I thought that this was ridiculous, and the decision just really couldn't be that hard. And now it's my time to make the decision, and I found myself struggling. To make the decision, I had to think, who has been a consistent and committed member of the Bar Association for as long at least as I've known them? Who supported me through every phase of my lawyer journey, career changes, and as a member of the Bar Association? And who has shown unwavering commitment to the community with no want for recognition, credit, praise, acknowledgement, or additional status? When I thought of that criteria, the decision was pretty clear. My mentor, Associate Judge for the Circuit Court of Prince George's County, Honorable Sharon Grayson Kelsey, was the right candidate for the 2021 J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association's President's Award. Luckily, in 2014, I was assigned as Judge Kelsey's mentee through the MSBA's mentorship program. I could recite her entire resume, but then we'd be here all night. But I will speak to a few. She's a loving wife, caring mother to 2 daughters, has served as a liquor board commissioner, an adjunct professor, a solo practitioner, Board of Education hearing examiner, a contract appeals attorney for child abuse and neglect cases, and now an associate judge for the Circuit Court of Prince George's County. Also, those items could easily be Googled and do not necessarily speak to her character, integrity, and enthusiasm for the Bar Association. What is most telling is that in the midst of those roles, she served in every J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association executive position and treasurer at least twice, served as our Christmas and April team captain twice, volunteered at countless expungement clinics, Wills for Heroes, CLE presenter, was the chair of the new admittees reception, was the chair of our bi-county oratorical contest, the scholarship banquet committee, just to name a few, and offered her former office space for many and every meeting that the Bar Association needed or wanted to hold, pulled her network and connected to marketing J. Franklyn Bourne's events, will answer your call late at night to listen to you just vent, or, and most importantly, strategize on a solution, and will even say yes to serving as executive officer immediately after campaigning for over a year to retain her seat on the bench. Sorry to her husband, Mike, but thank you. And we all know Judge Kelsey does not miss an opportunity to take a picture and capture a moment. Judge Kelsey, thank you for your commitment, service, and devotion to J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association and the community.
Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Kurt L. Smoke, President of the University of Baltimore. Today, I am honored to introduce to you President of the University of Baltimore, Kurt Smoke. Kurt Smoke was appointed as the University of Baltimore's 8th president as of July 7, 2014. He brings to the university a wealth of experience in public service, higher education, and leadership. He served as the mayor of Baltimore from 1987 to 1999 and was the Baltimore City State's Attorney from 1982 through 1987. Prior to joining the University of Baltimore, he was Dean of the illustrious Howard University School of Law in Washington, D.C. from 2003 through 2012. Following that, he was appointed General Counsel for Howard and also served as the institution's interim provost. During his tenure as Baltimore's mayor, Schmoke initiated a number of innovative programs in housing, education, public health, and economic development. In 1992, President George H.W. Bush awarded him the National Literacy Award for his efforts to promote adult literacy. Schmoke's public service record extends back to the 1970s when he was appointed Assistant Director of the White House Domestic Policy Staff under President Jimmy Carter. He also served as an Assistant U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland. Schmoke earned his undergraduate degree in history from Yale University. While at Yale, he co-founded a child care center that has been in continuous operation as the Calvin Hill Day Care Center and Kindergarten since 1970. He pursued graduate studies on a Rhodes Scholarship at Oxford University and earned his Juris Doctor degree from Harvard Law School. Please join me in welcoming President of University of Baltimore, Kurt L. Schmoke, this evening.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you very much to the officers and members of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association for inviting me to participate in this annual scholarship banquet. It's really an honor. I had the pleasure of interacting with members of the association, and actually I was a speaker to the association over the years. First, when I was state's attorney in Baltimore City, and of course during the time that I served as the dean of the Howard University School of Law. I was particularly proud of our graduates from the law school who are members of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association. They did during my time and probably continued to interact with the law school in a very positive way. They do exactly the types of things that the Bar Association promotes with respect to the scholarship. That is, during the course of the time that I was dean, a number of members of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association, who were Howard grads, contacted me and said that they would like to work with some of our students to help make sure that they passed the bar exam. They served as outstanding mentors, and because of that, our bar passage rate did continue, and we all know the importance of that. And I see that things have gone from good to better, better to best under the leadership of Dean Danielle Holly Walker as Howard Law School continues to thrive. The students do well, they become leaders in the bar, and I'm sure a number of members of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association. So again, I really do thank you. I do appreciate it. Now, clearly this format's a little bit different. I'm coming to you from my office at the University of Baltimore. And because of this format, I will try to keep my remarks short and sweet. My law school graduates will remember that I come from the School of Public Speaking that believes that a speech, in order to be immortal, need not be eternal. So I will focus on a couple of issues. Again, thanking all the members of the association for all the work that you do. I want to particularly single out and honor Delegate Eric Baring because of his nomination. You know, sometimes we scratch our head and say, wait a minute, are we still having firsts here in the year 2021? That probably shouldn't be, but it is. And but we sing his praises. We honor him for being nominated as U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland, the first African American to achieve that honor. He's done such a great job as a delegate, and of course as a past president of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association. So I'm particularly pleased to be able to thank him for his work, congratulate him on his nomination, and hopefully the young scholars who are being supported by the Bar Association find in him the kind of person, a role model that will inspire them as they continue in their work. Now, in thinking about our soon-to-be U.S. Attorney, I kind of smiled because I remembered my own experience. Some of you may know during the course of my career early on, I was an assistant United States Attorney. And of course that office does some really outstanding work, but they prosecute people in a variety of crimes, from tax to bank robbery, drug cases, of course, a lot of very significant criminal litigation. And of course, they will be involved in law reform. But I mentioned my own experience because some people might say that my career as a lawyer kind of peaked in the U.S. Attorney's office. And why was that? Well, I was one of the newest members of that office, and I was assigned to represent the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Because there are a number of federal laws to protect wildlife, and some of them actually have criminal penalties. And so in my practice, 1 year, I actually prosecuted a man on a congressional golf course, a Congressional Country Club golf course, for killing a Canada goose. It was a case that because this particular defendant went out and hired a fancy lawyer from Watergate fame, the case itself got to be fairly well publicized. We got a conviction, I should tell you, and but at the end of the year, we held a banquet, much like the annual banquet of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association, and I was given an award for that case. Yes, indeed, I received the award for the most publicized yet least socially significant case prosecuted in the office that year. So I hope that U.S. Attorney Barron will not continue that particular tradition. It's an award that I guess we could forget. It'll pass down in history along with me. But congratulations again. All of us recognize the importance of our justice system, that it is in need of constant reform. There are really no final victories as it relates to the reform of law, and particularly the criminal law. We know now we have huge challenges out here in terms of battling for legal rights, and lawyers in this bar association, and I'm sure some of those who you support through scholarships, when they come out, they will participate in efforts to improve the legal system in a variety of ways. One thing that I really wanted you to consider tonight has to do with a fairly local issue, somewhat controversial, I will say, but I believe vitally important. We have, as you know, in our state, different levels of the judiciary, from the district court and the circuit court, the Court of Special Appeals, and then the Court of Appeals. And as we all know, there will be on the ballot soon to allow voters to consider changing the names of those appellate courts so that we can have in Maryland a Supreme Court of Maryland and an appellate court. But generally, we have been extremely proud of the judicial system in Maryland. But there's one issue that continues, in my view, to be contrary to our goal of trying to eliminate politics from the judiciary, and that is the fact that we have one level of our court system in which we allow competitive elections. That is, that we require judges to, in order to retain their seats, to compete against any lawyer in their particular district who has enough money to offer, to put up a filing fee. It is really a relic of history, and I understand the politics of it, the history, why it is that we had competitive elections now. But the question is, should that history now govern what we are doing in the present? When you talk to citizens about our legal system, about the judiciary, we want to make sure that things really make sense to the layperson. But I have tried over and over throughout my career and up to the present day of explaining from a policy, not a politics, but a policy point of view, why it is that we require circuit court judges to compete in competitive elections. We have outstanding judges, yes, that's true. But what's the policy issue? At the district court level, we don't have a requirement of competing against other lawyers in a competitive election. No, it's based on the record. It's a retention election. Similarly, at the Court of Special Appeals and at the Court of Appeals. So 3 out of 4 of the levels of judiciary in Maryland, voters are simply asked to review the record of the judges to see whether he or she is doing a competent, a fair and balanced job to the extent that they know much about the judges or can read about the judges from work produced by bar associations. They make a judgment. So every 10 years, 3 of the 4 levels of the judiciary, judges are asked to go before the voters to have their record reviewed. If the voters decide that their record warrants it, those judges are retained, but not at the circuit court level. The circuit court level, when you are appointed, the first general election after the appointment, you have to run against any lawyer out there who is eligible in your district. Now, of course, you do get a 15-year term, but at the end of that term, you also have to face other lawyers. Not your record, but you're running against other lawyers. And the question from a policy point of view is why? What's the difference? What's the distinction between the district court, the judges, and the circuit court judges that would warrant one running in competitive elections and one running in retention elections? I think that that's an important issue. It's one that I know brings out a lot of emotion. I have been to the legislature many times. I have heard arguments for keeping the system the same way, and most of those arguments relate to politics, not to policy. And I just believe that as we are thinking about the future, as we are thinking about a wide range of law reform issues, that we ought to revisit this and once again question whether the competitive elections at the circuit court level make sense. I would at least say that we should put that issue on the ballot for our citizens the way we are putting now the question of changing the name of the Court of Appeals and the Court of Special Appeals. That too is going to the voters. The legislature last session simply recognized that Maryland is one of the few states in the country where the highest level of court is not called the Supreme Court. They thought that that would make sense to the layperson, that we would have a Supreme Court of Maryland, and so they made the change and now are recommending to the voters for their approval. The voters will decide that, and I believe they should decide these other issues too. I bring this to your attention mainly because I think it's important for us to consider, and also for these young lawyers that are being supported through scholarship, to recognize that there's still many important issues that will confront them, that they will have to face, and we know that they are going to do an outstanding job. We know that they're going to lift themselves up professionally. They will lift up our communities. They will do an outstanding job as practitioners, as business people, and other professions that they pursue. But we recognize that the kind of hope and the faith that we have in them now will be paid off in many, many ways as they pursue outstanding professional careers. So let me thank you all very much for the opportunity to congratulate the Bar Association, congratulate the scholars, congratulate again Delegate Barron for his work, and for all of you. You're making our state better. You're continuing to do an outstanding job, and we do appreciate everything that you're doing to make sure that the next generation of lawyers continues the outstanding tradition of the J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association. All the best to you. Thanks again.
Thank you everyone for joining us for the 37th Annual J. Franklyn Bourne Bar Association Scholarship Banquet. We really appreciate that you took the time out to join us this evening, and we are very grateful that you were here for us in this program this year. We wanted to give thanks to a few organizations and people who made this production possible. First, we want to give thanks to our production team, True Light Media, for all the time and effort that they put into making this production possible. Thank you for your time, thank you for your vision, thank you for your hard work. We also want to thank the sponsors that made this possible, because without you, we would not have the scholarships to provide these law students. So thank you for providing us with sponsorship and donations year in and year out. There are plenty of places and plenty of organizations where you could be donating and sponsoring, but you chose us, and we are very grateful and we are very thankful for that. We also want to thank Shipley and Horn for allowing us to record in their studio multiple days. We know that this was a commitment, and we know that it's very easy to take your help and your assistance for granted, but we don't, and we truly appreciate and value your help every year. We also want to thank you, everyone who purchased tickets, whether it was group tickets with your business or your nonprofit. We truly appreciate you showing up every time, every year for this organization. And we look forward to seeing you in person for the 38th Annual Scholarship Banquet next year. Thank you again.